Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. Today we're going to be doing a book review of The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. Now, where do I begin? This gave me a look into sci-fi in a way that I never really thought I could love it, and I will tell you why. When I heard about this book from so many different people, I was like, oh, okay, it sounds great. It's about the people, not the mission. Neat, kind of cool. But it's so much more than that. So, this, in my opinion, is a beautiful way to see and kind of think more clearly about society and what we have the potential to be and what we have the potential to have in the future. I haven't stopped thinking about it. I had a minor sob fest at the end just because A, I was so sad it ended, and B, I was really sad it ended. I feel like you could go anywhere on the internet right now and find a synopsis of this book. So there's a young girl named Rosemary. She's trying to escape from her past and her history, and she has joined a collective co-species ship that is run by Ashby. I think that's how you would pronounce it, Ashby. It's got a bunch of different species and cultures. So she gets to the ship within the first few chapters, and you learn that she's using skills that she had prior, but she's literally washed herself of her history. It's intense how much she's gone through to change her past. This book discusses three big topics that I think are very important in society today. Topic number one is acceptance of culture. Topic number two is acceptance of race. And topic number three is what is family? Now, let's start with topic number one, acceptance of culture. There is no lack of culture differences on this ship. Each single character has a different world they come from, a different society, a different idea of what's right, what's wrong. Some of them share or overlap, which is normal because a lot of groups are subgenres of other groups and so on and so forth. Sissix, who is an alien, I believe she's like a mix between, in my brain, she was like a mix between an alligator-esque scaly creature with feathers. I don't really know how to explain her. I had an image of her in my head, and she is a very physical, loving, affectionate species, but their idea of affection is so different from ours. For example, their idea of affection is hugging and touching and kissing and loving and just nuzzling and getting close to each other, even in a state of nudity, because they just feel so much love and affection towards those that they care for. And it makes humans uncomfortable because it's just such open, undeniable affection. And that's a really interesting point to me, is that there's an element of uptightedness, I guess, that society has kind of impacted our human kind with, where we feel uncomfortable at the idea of being affectionate to those that we aren't in a relationship with sexually. There's this underlying awkwardness of you shouldn't be physically attached or intimate with those, and I'm not saying intimate like sex, I'm saying intimate like affection, with those of your friends or family that are not a intimate partner sexually. So there's that. And then you get into the race factor, which is all of these different creatures and species and worlds all have come together on this ship, and they're all kind of learning from each other what their societies are like, how their species have grown, how their species have survived, not survived, how they have kind of seen battle, seen life, seen change, and what the human race is actually just such a small comparison to is really interesting in this story. And then the final part of it is, what is family? What qualifies someone as your family member? What defines a family? And that subject is such a huge one for me because I have an adopted sister who, the way that she is my adopted sister, But she didn't grow up with me. She came into my life at a later time. She was adopted by my family. They took her into their home. I share a room with her. She knows everything about me, mental illness and all. She has no judgment of me. She loves me unconditionally. I love her unconditionally. But we don't have the same parents in terms of biologically. But she calls my parents mom and dad because they are her parents. They taught her to drive. They taught her about taxes, all that good stuff. It's very interesting how uptight some societies can be about what defines a family member. So that was another really interesting subject touched on. And I would love to kind of rant and rave about this book because it is one of the most phenomenal things I've ever read. It was beautiful. It was lyrical. Becky Chambers, I've already pre-ordered her book that's out in October. I can't begin to explain how much this made me think about humanity and differences and acceptance and just the idea that there are so many things we don't accept and so many things that we don't see in society and so many things that we pretend aren't there, that I just feel like there's so much that needs to be talked about and so much that needs to be discussed, that they do it in this book brilliantly without forcing it down your throat. It's not taken to an extreme where it's like, oh, you're wrong for not liking someone of a different, culture or anything. It's really teaching people to learn that it's okay to learn about other cultures and societies. It's okay to feel like someone from a different race or culture is family. It's okay to find your family outside of your own people. It doesn't make you bad, it doesn't make you wrong, and it doesn't make you wrong or bad if you are kind of stuck in your own ways, but it does limit your ability to see outside of your own world and to see beyond your universe. And I thought it changed a lot for me. I think differently now. I mean, I always wanted and loved to be outside and learn about new cultures, but I really savored this one. It took me a month to finish. There was no reason for it to take a month for me to finish. I wanted to sit down and read it in one sitting, and I probably could have done it in a 3-day sit, but I really wanted to savor it. I wanted it to last, and I wanted to learn from it, and I think that's what I did. And Becky Chambers has done a beautiful job. I will certainly pre-order and buy anything that she comes out with from here on out. A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet has stolen me and changed me for the better. And that is my review on that. So I will see you guys in my next video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.